Hey there, it's Becca here from Motivate Coaching. First off, I just want to say happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. I hope you're enjoying this hot, beautiful weather that we're having and you're doing something that you love, and I hope you're not at work unless that's where you want to be. So last week, I shared with you 7 tips for drinking more water. And if you didn't catch that live, you can find out over on my Motivate Coaching Facebook page. So be sure to check that out. So this is week number 2 of 8. And this week I am here to let you know that even though you might be stressed to the max right now, there are still small practical steps that you can take to cope better with that stress and stay healthy. First, you might be wondering how stress and staying healthy go hand in hand. I know it's like we don't hear about stress enough. It's one thing to live with it every day and another thing to hear me talking about it now. But the truth is that it's important to acknowledge our stress, and if you acknowledge it, then you're recognizing it, and that enables you to realize that it's there so that you can reduce or cope with it maybe just a little bit better. Think of it as aiming for like a 1% improvement every day. You may not be able to change all the stressors in your life, but if you can manage how they impact your body just 1%, then that is an improvement. And that also will enable you to stay healthier and enable you to be able to handle that stress better. So I feel like that's a little worthwhile, don't you? One thing that I'm really proud of in my coaching work is that I'm able to help my clients manage their stress, and that's one of the most important things that we work on together is managing it, coping with it, and hopefully eliminating some of it. What goes through your mind when you hear that, when you hear me say maybe eliminate it or de-stress or cope with it a little better? Maybe things like you're always going to have stress, so how is that possible to de-stress? And you're right, you will always have stress. It's literally impossible not to have any stress. And that's actually one of the things that I help them realize is that, it's nice to think that you're not always going to have any of these things to stress about, but in real life and realistically, you will always have something stressing you out. So I help them realize that, and then I help them find ways where they can deal with it a little bit better and manage their days a little better, maybe around it. And I also help them differentiate between what's worthy of stressing over and what's out of their control. So if it's out of your control, then why freak out about it? And here are some of the ways that stress can affect our body if we are constantly under it. And I am one of those people that I'm one of the first people to pretend that stress isn't a big deal. I feel like I hide all of my stressors pretty well. So if you're like me, then maybe the two of us can have a come to Buddha moment and get real about how stress is affecting our bodies. So here's a list of ways that stress affects you. It increases your cortisol production, which is associated with weight gain, especially around your belly area, and the inability to lose weight or gain muscle, and also goes hand in hand with premature aging. It decreases nutrient absorption due to decreased enzymatic production from your stomach, pancreas, and liver, and it decreases the bile flow from your gallbladder. Stress increases nutrient excretion, such as urinary loss of calcium, magnesium, potassium, zinc, chromium, and other microminerals. It decreases your gut flora populations by destroying the healthy intestinal bacteria and can lead to immune problems or skin disorders, nutrient deficiencies, and even digestive distress. Stress increases salt retention, which can lead to higher blood pressures. It decreases thyroid hormones, which can have a negative impact on your metabolism. Stress also decreases your sex hormones, which leads to loss of libido and low energy. And another thing stress does is it releases these hormones that provide immediate energy for those life-threatening moments. And in those moments, your blood flow is directed away from your digestive area and your core, and it's spread out to your arms and your legs so that you can run really fast in those moments so that you can't escape. And during that process, it also shuts down your digestive system, which makes sense because if you're being chased by a wild animal like a wild bear or a lion or something like that, then you won't have the time or energy to devote to digesting whatever it is that you eat for lunch. And the important thing to remember here is that your brain cannot differentiate between real and imagined stress. I'll repeat that. Your brain cannot differentiate between real and imagined stress. So let's imagine that you're running from that wild bear or that lion or whatever predator you want to imagine. It's terrifying. Your mind is solely focused on getting you out of there because you have to survive. It's just like you've got to get away. You've just got to run, so your arms and your legs are pumping so fast, and it's trying to get you away from that. And then now imagine that it's a typical day at work. Whatever your job is, if you're a nurse, you're a construction worker, you work in the office, whatever, customer service, anything really. And imagine it's lunchtime and you're trying to scarf down whatever it is that you're eating for lunch, or maybe you're trying to get a list of things done, or maybe you're running late for a meeting or an appointment. In your mind, in that moment, it's also racing, and then your heart starts racing to keep up with everything that your mind's trying to tell it. And then all you're thinking about is how are you going to make it through another crazy day? Both of these situations initiate the stress response, which includes digestive shutdown. So now imagine it's morning and you're running out the door and you're trying to shove a muffin in your mouth, or you're trying to slurp down a smoothie or something, or when you're crazy busy at work and all you want to do is eat this lunch that you actually packed for yourself today and it looks so good. Or maybe you're driving in some really crappy traffic and that guy ahead of you just will not get out of your way. Or maybe you're running late for an appointment and you're trying to eat like a power bar or something really quickly. To the body, this is all the same thing as running from that bear, but it's not life-threatening. And the stress response, it's going, going, going because your body doesn't realize that it's not actually life-threatening. So if you've ever scarfed down something really quickly and you feel like it's just kind of sitting there, it's just hanging out in your stomach like a big lump, that's because it is. It's waiting to get that green light to digest, and that can't happen until your body can move out of stress and into relaxation. So as you can see, the stress response, it greatly affects how we digest everything we put into our mouth and how we go about our life. So how can you reduce or cope with the stress better? Remember, since we can't always control the stress in our lives, the goal is to reduce our experience of stress by just 1% every day. So here are 5 ways you can do that starting now. You can look at your calendar for the next 7 days and find one activity that you've committed to that you can cancel. And this makes me think of a book I've been listening to, and this lady wanted to spend every Friday with her son because she worked 6 days a week and she never got to see him. So she canceled everything on Friday and she put it, I think it was like her executive meeting with executive board members or something along those lines. So it looked really important to everybody who saw her calendar, so they knew that, oh, that's really important, she can't cancel. But she knew that that executive board was her son, so it looked like she had this important meeting, but really her important meeting is with her son, because that's what she would rather fill her time with than something else that she committed to that wasn't as important as her son. Hopefully that makes sense. The other thing you can do is look at your to-do list. What's one item that you can delegate to someone else in the next 24 hours? So maybe you told somebody, you would take something, you go to the grocery store for them, but really, they have the time to do it and you don't. Just delegate it to somebody else. Consider your schedule today. Where can you fit in 20 minutes for yourself while you're not taking care of anyone else or being productive? So you can just relax and play and do something fun and mindless. If you don't have 20 minutes, you have 10, you have 5. Even 5, that counts. Look at your calendar for tomorrow. Where can you fit in like a 10-minute walk or just 10 minutes in your backyard just enjoying being outside. So you can just be out there and feel that fresh air and that movement. And being outside just helps you cope way better than being cooped up does too. Before your next meal, try something I call the 5-5-7 breath. It's where you inhale for a count of 5, then you hold your breath for a count of 5, and then you exhale for a count of 7, and then repeat that 3 more times. This gives your body a chance to relax before your meal, which will increase your digestive capacity and help your body pull more nutrients from the food you're eating. Here's something that I heard that really was really confusing for me at first when I started learning all of this stuff. It's that eating healthy food and taking healthy actions are only half of the equation to live healthfully. And it didn't make sense to me at first until I started experiencing that myself and de-stressing. So if you're trying to lose weight or just get healthy in general, they say, you know, you got to eat all these healthy foods, you got to work out this much, you got to do this, you got to do that. And all of those things are great, don't get me wrong, because I like eating healthy. I like exercising because it makes me feel good. But you can do all of those things that they tell you you need to be doing, like eating those healthy foods and working out this much and, you know, exercising and all of that stuff. But if you're constantly under stress, it's not going to work. If you're, you know, maybe you had like ice cream or a brownie or something, and then you think you have to deprive yourself because you had that cheat food, it's not going to work, because then you're stressing about the cheat food that you had instead of actually enjoying it. Or all those countless hours that you're now working in the gym because of that cheat food, again, you're still stressing about it. All of those things, just punishing yourself like that doesn't work. So you have to have the healthy food and lifestyle choices. Plus, you have to create the ideal digestive and ideal absorption states, which is relaxation. And it's only when you put these two halves of the equation together that you get the best health of your life, really. Have you ever heard someone say, oh my God, I'm so frustrated, I'm so confused. I've been eating all of these healthy things, I've been eating all this salad, and I've been just, you know, I go to the gym like 4 or 5 times a week, but I still have all of these same problems that I had before I started doing all of these things. And I'm just going to take a guess and say it's because you're not allowing in the room for relaxation. You're just, it's not in the picture. You're always stressed out, and you never take any time to just stop and breathe and just chill for a second. And a lot of those people, they don't know how to turn that off. So what can you do now? Well, I encourage you to do one of the 5 things that I listed above. Just try one. And if you still feel like you're too stressed to relax and you know that it's affecting your health and your weight and your energy levels, then I will put a link in the comments below where you can schedule a powerful coaching session with me, where you can discover how you can reduce or cope better with the stressors in your life. I've helped all of my clients with this problem, and the chances are really good that I can help you with it too. So that is all for this week's video. I hope that you gained an insight from this. If you're a visual person, then there is a blog post that goes along with it. I will put the link below as well. And I would love for you to leave a comment below and let me know something that you'd like to get rid of on your calendar within the next 7 days, and what you'd like to experience instead of that stress or instead of that anxiety or tension, and what would you like to be experiencing instead. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a rest of your day, and again, happy Father's Day to all of you guys. Thank you.